rest for the wicked, of course, even for Blackburn Rovers as we edge closer to the final game of 2020. Will it be a win for Rovers or will it be yet another shit show? We'll talk about that in a car next. Backman's giving another match preview. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' last match of 2020. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and of course hit the old subscribe button to keep you back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, whoa, football related. We're going to all here in a car, of course, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, of course, in the middle of the boonies. That's right. We've got some crazy stuff going on my lenses here. It's like I'm going like into Star Wars or something. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute because I've got a bit of breaking news, boys. But we've got another Patreon. That's right. Woo! Get in your veins. 24 patrons. Now we are just one shy with hours to spare of 2020. Could you be the latest member of the gang? We are still looking for another one. But of course, a big shout out to the 24th. That is, of course, the D-Man. Give him a round of applause. Welcome, D-Man. You, of course, made my bloody day. Made my year, of course, becoming to number 24, which brings us ever closer to number 25. Could you be that illustrious number 25 to get me to that goal, the end of a calendar year goal of 25 patrons? Only one spot remains. Check out the link down below, patreon.com/Rovers. Now we're gonna do this preview in a bloody car. We've got limited data. It might be very, very short, but I wasn't gonna do one for this game because I just couldn't get the time. But I thought it'd be a little bit shitty to end the year without a preview. So you're gonna have to make do with this. I might not even show this the whole time. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, and take a little look at this next match. It is Rovers taking on Huddersfield at the John Smiths, Kirklees, McAlpine Stadium, whatever you want to call it. And it takes place on the 29th of December. That is a Tuesday. It is today. Probably because I'm working on this on Monday night. Of course, take a look at some of the stats and figures heading into this bad boy. Now, of course, both sides played 21 games this season. Rovers scoring on average 2 goals a game. Huddersfield picking up 1 goal a game. On average, Rovers banging in 15 shots per 90 minutes. As for the hosts, 11 shots on average for them per game. Rovers are also picking up around about 2 yellow cards, 5 corners, 12 fouls, 2 offsides, and 50 with a 53% success rate aerial duels wise. On the flip side, Huddersfield coming to us on average picking up a yellow card a game, 4 corners, 12 fouls, 2 offsides, and a 49% success rate with their aerial duels. They have also got a 55% success rate with their possession. When I say success rate, they average about 55% possession per match. Rovers edging that as well, 57% as well, and also a better success rate with their passing with 80% compared to Huddersfield's 78%. That's of course both home and away, but if you want to break it down a little bit further, take a look at the home versus away. Rovers still banging on about 2 goals per game on the road. Huddersfield still banging in just the 1 game at the McAlpine Stadium, or Kirklees, whatever you want to call it. Rovers still chipping in with more shots per match, 17 to 12. There's been 5 corners as well to 4 for Huddersfield as well. And yeah, pretty much all numbers favour Rovers, but guess what? It's probably not going to favour us at the final score because we've been a bit ropey-dopey of late, but we'll have to see anyway. Take a look then, of course, at the goals per game. This is, of course, Rovers chipping in with 35 goals this season, both home and away. 25 goals for Huddersfield. Rovers scoring 25 of them through open, bloody play, 3 set pieces, 4 counter-attacks, and 3 penalties. As for Huddersfield, the host, 16 open play goals, 5 set pieces, 2 counter-attacks, and 2 own goals. As you can see, on average, 11.1 shots per game for Huddersfield, actually with a 1.2 goals per game conversion. Rovers also 15.3 shots per game and a 1.7 goals per game success rate. And as you can see, let's take a look at the goals conceded by the hosts and, of course, the visitors. Rovers conceding 17 goals. Huddersfield, of course, conceding 14. That's right. Of course, 10 through open play, 1 set piece, 2 counter-attacks, and 1 OG. Meanwhile, 14 of Rovers' goals have come through open play, conceded, of course, 1 counter-attack, 2 penalties, no goals so far. And again, we've been on the receiving end of around about 16.7 shots per game, 12.4 for Huddersfield, and also conceding about 1.7 goals to 1.4 as well. I believe that's what I'm looking at here. Kicking off further, then let's take a look at the average possession for Rovers and the hosts. 33% of Huddersfield's possession is in their own third, 42% is in the middle third, and 25% is when they're going forward. As for Rovers, 29% for them is in their own third, 42% within the middle third, and 29% going forward as well. As for whereabouts they like to make their attacking runs, 43% of Huddersfield coming down the left, 34% down the right, 24% down the middle. As for Rovers, it's kind of a little bit more spread out, sort of a little more evenly spread. So that's what the words I'm looking for. 38% down the right, 37% down the left, 25% down the middle. Kicking on forward though, we have, as you can see, the shots direction for Huddersfield, 63% of all their shots coming down the middle, 21% down the left, 17% down the right. Rovers, again, similar sort of numbers, 62% of all the shots down the middle, 18 down the right, 20 down the left. And as you can see, whereabouts those shots come from, 6% in the 6-yard area, that's Huddersfield, 55% in the 18-yard box, and 39% long range bad boys. As for Rovers, 4% in the 6-yard area, but that could be about to change with the return of Bradley Decker. That's his zone. 57% of the shots of all of Rovers coming in the 18-yard box, and 38% outside of the box. The key men that are going to decide the factors this coming Tuesday. Of course, the top goal scorer of Huddersfield this year is there's no Carlon Grant no more. It's Josh Koroma leading the charge. Former Leyton Orient man has chipped in with 6 goals this season so far. Fraser Camp's also got himself 4, as well as Mpenza has got himself 3, and Erting has got himself 3 goals as well from midfield. As for the dirtier players for Huddersfield, 4 yellow cards for Stearman. Hogg's got 4 as well. Sar's got 3, as Bakuna. Sar's also got himself a red card. Meanwhile, Rovers goals coming from Adam Armstrong with 16 goals, 4 goals for Elliott, 3 goals for Bradley Johnson, and 3 goals for Sam Gallagher as well. But of course, we have also seen the return of Big Bad Boy Brereton to get in amongst it. Of course, Bradley Johnson got himself 6 yellow cards. Lenihan's got 5, Rothwell's got 4, and Douglas has 3. As for red cards, it's just the one, and that is Darragh Lenihan. Let's take a look at the recent encounters between the two sides. Now, of course, over the course of history, these two sides have played each other 86 times. 23 wins for Huddersfield, 30 wins for Rovers, and 33 draws. But the last 6, though, is more in favour for Huddersfield than it is for Rovers. The last 6 has been 2 wins for Huddersfield, nothing for Rovers, and 4 draws. Last time, in fact, was in Huddersfield. It was a 2-1 win for Huddersfield. That was back in around about this time. Actually, this time last season, Huddersfield came on top with a 2-1 win. Same day. Is it going to be a bit of a deja vu? It could very well be. John Gorenk Stankovic on score sheet for Huddersfield. Steve Mooney as well, giving Huddersfield the 3 points. Stanley Graham opened up the scoring, though, for Rovers on the 7th minute. But yes, prior to that, though, there was an unbeaten run of 3 games, but no wins for Rovers. But if you take a look at the last 6 over in Huddersfield, it's a bit of better reading for Rovers. Just the 1 defeat the last 6, of course, losing last time around against Huddersfield just last year. But prior to that, the unbeaten campaign of 5 games for Rovers, picking up 1, 2, 3 draws on the spin. But a 4-2 win at Huddersfield was about 6 years ago. As Jordan Rose got himself a hat-trick, and Coy Conway amongst the scorers as well. Naki Wells scored as well back in the day, of course. Let's take a look at what's gone on recently between these two sides in the championship. Of course, Huddersfield coming to this winning, but of course losing the last round against Barnsley. But the home form is pretty savvy. Actually won at least 2 on the spin. We'll take a look at the extended form in just a minute. But they're actually, okay kind of form for them. Losing last round against Barnsley, beating Watford, back in the 19th of December, pre-Christmas. Of course, Rovers, though, coming into this, not good at all. 1 win in the past 5 for them. That 1 win was against Rotherham. It was the lastminute.com. We played okay against Sheffield Wednesday, but we were toothless. We played okay against Stoke, but they got the early goal. We played okay against Rotherham, but it was a late show. We played decent against Norwich, but we lost. Played decent against Bristol City and also lost. It's the same old shit, different day. Can we get something a little bit better for Rovers heading into this one? Let's take a look at the recent home versus away form here. Huddersfield coming to this, winning 4 on the spin at home. They've probably got one of the better home forms in the league at the moment, whereas Rovers away form is pretty poop. Back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Stoke, losing to Bristol City, with both consecutive 1-0 losses. Prior to that, though, was an unbeaten campaign of 3, drawing with Brentford and Luton, and also beating Deepdale, Preston North End at their own gaff there. But yeah, from what I'm reading, it all paints towards a Huddersfield victory at the moment. Here is that form table. Take a look at it. Of course, the overall form table sees Huddersfield in 9th, Rovers down to 18th at the moment. It was just about a month ago we were top of this form table, but guess what? Just goes to show how quickly this league can turn itself around. Barnsley flying high in 5th, though. Look at that. Norwich doing the bits at the top of the table. Swansea also keeping up with them as well. Meanwhile, the home form, what we really want to look at is Huddersfield's, not Rovers' home form. Rovers' home form is okay. We're actually in a 7th spot, but Huddersfield are actually a little bit better than us, just losing once in the past 6 games. Of course, sitting 5th in the table. A win for them this time out. They'll probably go top of the pops form-wise. Rovers' away form, though, is 14th in the table, middle of the road. Not really great. great, not really disastrous, but could be much better than that. Of course, heading out of this match, of course, Rovers will be taking on Birmingham City. That'll be our first game of 2021. Could it be the start of a new era? Of course, there is question marks of our Doncaster Rovers match in the FA Cup with, of course, a bit of a COVID issue with Doncaster. We may see that game postponed. Then also Rovers taking on Stoke again. Then we take on Swansea for the second time, and then Middlesbrough, of course, on the Riverside. As for Huddersfield, they'll exit this game into the new year, taking on Reading back at the McAlpine. It's actually 3 home games on the spin for them. They'll take on Plymouth Argyle if that goes ahead, of course. Watford on the road. Then they take on Millwall. And the back end of that 5-game stretch will be Bristol City at Thrashton Gate. Now, who do I think will start the lineups for these two sides? Well, there's a bit of a surprise in my lineup. Both sides operating with a 4-3-3. We got Schofield between sticks for Huddersfield. We got Toffolo, who's been a really good sort of left back option for Huddersfield these days, scoring with assists, chipping in with a bunch of assists as well. Edmonds Green, I'll get the words out there, partnering Sarve along the back there with Pippa alongside the right back slot. We have O'Brien, Efting and Hogg in the middle of the 3-man midfield, with Bakun on the left and Pence on the right and Campbell down the middle. Of course, Karoma's not featured in there. Don't know why, but we'll see if he gets a start cameo. I don't know if he's injured or suspended. I don't know, but he's not in the recent encounters. As for Rovers, though, I've gone Kaminsky between the sticks. Now, of course, Douglas is not really setting the place on fire, but I still think he's got enough in the tank to start this game, and maybe the more games we give him to him, the more quality that will be on offering for Rovers. Lenihan alongside Ayala at the back. Nyambe, of course, gets a start. Into midfield, you could opt for Bradley Dack back. He did offer 30 minutes last round, but I don't think he's ready for a starting berth. I think it'll be another cameo from the bench for a year out. You can't just throw him in the deep end unless Mowbray is just going to do that. I don't know. But I've gone with Rothwell, Johnson and Holtby from the get-go. And then I got Brereton alongside Armstrong and Elliott up top. And I think that 3-man forward line will be deadly enough to get something out of it. If the players are a little bit more, if Dak is ready and raring to go, I would put Dak in the middle in the Armstrong role, put Armstrong on the left, Brereton on the right, Elliott down into midfield, and probably drop Holtby. That's probably what I would do there, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. Now you've heard a little bit of what I've had to say. What about the Cat? What does Digicast think about this match? Digicast, show me what you're talking about. What's been going on social media then, shall we? Kick it all off with, of course, on the brfcs.com forum. Philip L said this: when I saw the next two fixtures, when the list came out, I just knew we would lose them both. Both are Mowbray designer banana skins. He will unfailingly fall over. And I thought, well, here we are. Let's be honest, we have a far better squad than any of us dared hoped when the fixtures were published. But we have to win these 2 games to keep our league season alive. I have no idea how we're going to do it. I guess together with Tony Mowbray, that makes 2 of us. Matt83 said this: Rovers playing good football was the penultimate Mowbray myth to be busted. In the last 10 games, we played well once versus Knob End and horrendously in most, if not all others of those games. Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, unless pointless possession football is your thing. Hopefully can get Dak, Brereton, Armstrong and Travis on the same pitch together sometime very, very soon. Then no more excuses. At which point might be more consistent, highly unlikely, as Mowbray hasn't been able to sort out a defence in over a decade, or the final myth of injuries holding us back rather than the dummy in the dugout will also be dispelled. Then might finally move on to fresh ideas and hopefully progress. I sense the goal posts are being moved as to what constitutes a good season by East. I'm fully expecting us, as long as we can stay up, he says. Goodness gracious me. Teddy Rovers has gone with this lineup here. He's gone Kaminsky, Nyambe, Lenihan, Ayala and Bell. Rothwell, Downing and Davenport, Dolan, Armstrong and Brereton up top, which is, refreshing. Elliott doesn't even make the squad. That's a bit strange. Elliott has probably been a far better player. We're second coming. Can't see any plausible reason for Douglas to pull on the blue and white shirt ever again, to be fair. Every side has its nemesis, but it sticks in the craw when that nemesis is allegedly on the same side as you. Enough said. I think I've made my thoughts on our Leeds cast-off Dingle implant pretty clear, and I think he's a dud. It will be interesting to see how Tony Mowbray continues the Dak Brereton rehabilitation. I suspect neither will be risked from the start, which means that introduction, if it comes at all, will be damage limitation rather than a show of strength in depth. At this point in the season, really having expected us to be ready to scale the heights and into the healthy rhythm, rather than exhibiting battle fatigue and embodying chronic uncertainty as we are. I agree 100% with Philip L. that the season hangs on the next 2 games. Depending on our self-made fortunes, we will either be building momentum for a spring dash towards the playoff or craning our necks anxiously as team below us rise inexorably past us as we sink miserably towards flirtation with trips to Accrington and Aldershot. I know which scenario I would prefer. Kicking off over Aussie Day. So we played the exact fixture at pretty much the exact time this time last year, and to be honest with you, it seems like one of the last times I went to a game. Completely fed up of this shite now. I would be at all surprised if the exact same result either. They have a good rocket at home and have won the last 4 on a trot now. Hopefully more game time for Dak and Brereton as we edge closer to Travis returning as well. I haven't completely wrote the season off yet, mainly based on the returning players and the potential impact. We need a good run and fast though, and we'll end it with, let's end up with a couple of short ones, or at least a short one here. Mercer, I'm usually optimistic there where Rovers are concerned, and this match is no exception. I look at the players we have who are capable of producing something special. Rothwell's goal being case in point. I think we should be winning lots of games in the bang average division. Sadly, in my opinion, our buggeration factor is Mowbray. Staggered when I saw the odds, but we're clear favourites. It's 25-19 away to a team who have just 1 point less than us. I think we'll win this game, therefore staking a sizable bet, part of my season's Rovers winnings on a Rovers win. Let me know how much of your 8,000 winnings you'll be staking on Huddersfield, he says. To be honest with you, I wouldn't back Rovers at the moment. To be honest with you, I really wouldn't. So let's take a look at what else is going on out in the Championship then, shall we? Of course, let's take a look at the possession charts here. Norwich lead the charge here with 57.8% possession. As for Rovers, though, they are second. But guess what? We get a lot of the ball, but we don't do anything with it, which is absolutely frustrating. Huddersfield, though, up to there in third, so it could be a game of two sort of dominating possession-based sides. Could it be better suited for Rovers to let Huddersfield have the ball and, of course, try us to come on the counter? That could be an option for us heading into this. So Brentford and Bournemouth make up the top 5 there. As for the most aggressive side, Sheffield Wednesday still lead the charge there, 35 yellows, 5 reds. Stoke, Rotherham, Birmingham and Nottingham Forest make up your power 5. As for the aerial duels, Cardiff lead the charge there, 58.5% of the aerial duels won by them. Birmingham second, Stoke third, Rovers are into fourth. And again, we don't really see that for Rovers. We don't see the use of the set pieces, the corners, the free kicks. Why don't we? Maybe we're just trying to keep our aerial duels to something else, to keep our stats high. I just don't get it. As for the shots per game, Rovers are in second behind Norwich with 15.3 shots per game on average. Norwich 16.2. As for pass accuracy, Huddersfield's also in the top 5 alongside Rovers. Of course, possession-based sides have more opportunity to fling out some passes, and of course so far it's not really working out for Rovers, having all the ball, all the possession, all the passing, but ultimately not doing the final bits with it. Kicking on forward though, shall we take a look at the leaderboard, or the Premier League as it stands? Norwich City lead the charge, Swansea second, Bournemouth third, Brentford fourth, Watford fifth, and Reading make up your top 6. And the foot of the table is Wickham, Sheffield Wednesday, Derby going down as it stands. Huddersfield come to us in 14th, Rovers in 11th, just 1 point separated 2 sides. A win for Huddersfield, they could go as high as 10th. A win for Rovers, they could go as high as 10th as well. So top 10 is on the agenda for both sides here. Kicking on forward, let's take a look at what else is going on this weekend or this midweek out in the Championship. Birmingham City taking on Derby in a bit of a relegation scrap at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday looking to make it 3 games. Is it 3 games unbeaten? Up against up against Middlesbrough. Of course, Norwich, of course, the leaders up against QPR, who are struggling. Luton Town against Bristol City. Of course, that'll be tricky for Bristol City. Rotherham against Barnsley, who are high flying. Preston against Coventry. Wickham against Cardiff. Stoke against Forest, of course, and Brentford against Bournemouth up against those should be a free scoring, high entertaining game as well. And Swansea against Reading. A couple of those games are on Wednesday, but of course the game in the midweek will be Huddersfield up against Rovers. No watch along today. I've got them down here in the middle of booties. I'll be lucky enough to get to see this game, but we'll have to see. Quick look at the leaderboard in goals wise. Ivan Toney leads the charge, 16 goals to his name. Adam Armstrong's got himself 15. Lucas Chow, though, hot on his heels with 11 goals. Pookie, Solanke, Moore, Ayew, Woodrow, Sinclair and Maite make up your top 10. As for the key assist members, Olise Buenda Tofollo's up there with 5 assists. Brooks and Campbell to complete the set. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. But if you're new, bang the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related. Championship play. Whoa, football we're going to do here in a bloody car. Of course, big shout out to the 24 patrons. We've still got one shy of a goal of 25. If you're interested, put in check out the link down below, patreon.com/reviews. But anyway, I'm going to let you get out of here. I've got to get this video online. It's running late, very late. And hopefully I'll see you all on the other end with 3 points. Until then, though, I'm out.